Italian people, I might say, we have many good things to say, but a bad thing, we don't really like to follow the rules that much.
Hello everybody, today is April 30th, and as you can tell by the intro, we are going to be talking about Italy. It's a really interesting one today. We figured out a lot of tea, if you will. It was really interesting to talk to two of our friends from Italy, as they are a country that has been at the epicenter of this pandemic. They were the second country to China to really experience the full weight of this infection. I will put today's statistics from the New York Times Corona map for cases and deaths here so you can check them out. They experienced their first infection on February 21st, and by March 22nd they were already under full lockdown. In the last two videos I did more of a lengthy intro, but I figured moving forward I'm just gonna let the interviewees speak for themselves. So without further ado, I introduce you to Eugenia and Filippo, who are going to tell us a little bit more about their experiences.
I'm in my hometown. It's Modena. We're on, I think, week 10. I don't know, it's been incredibly long, and they've just extended it by 2 weeks.
On the 3rd of May, we expected to go on phase 2, that's how it's called, and new businesses and mainly for businesses will be opening. Well, it all happened with the Wuhan thing, right? Like for the whole world. And from Italy, the perspective was it's far away.
But for Eugenia, it wasn't so far away.
Before it got to Italy, before coronavirus got to Italy, I actually went to Hong Kong, like just before.
Tea.
Because I had a bit of a breakdown phase. I had just graduated, was doing my master's, but wasn't really sure that I liked it. So I was on the phone to my friend, and I was like, I really need to go traveling. My friend was actually like, oh yeah, I'll come with you, you should go to Asia. And I was like, okay, cool. So we basically booked a flight to Hong Kong on, I think it was the 15th of December, and we had no idea about coronavirus. No one did. Because I even told my family, I was like, I'm going to go to Asia. They were like, oh, that sounds so fun. So no one was worried. Everything was okay. We left on the 19th of December, and I think the 17th was the first day where, when we read something about coronavirus. But when we left, we were like, it's okay. We're just going to wash our hands, just a flu, and things like this. Got to Hong Kong, and they were scared, really scared. It was really intense there. And we actually got sick. It wasn't coronavirus, but long story short, we flew back in earlier because we were worried we'd get quarantined, because we had all these stopovers around, in Cambodia, and then in Abu Dhabi, in Paris. And so we actually flew back earlier. I got back, and there were no controls anywhere. We went to Cambodia, there were still flights to and from Wuhan. So, and that was on the 26th of January, I think. So, when you read on the news, oh yeah, all flights to and from China were cancelled. I was flying back from China, and it was all fine. And people were flying to Cambodia from China, and, Cambodia doesn't have the health system that we have, obviously. So they should have, they obviously did it for, economic reasons, not to close down everything. But, I think they should have. But other than that, a lot of news were fake. And we got to Italy, and it was just starting to, sound scary, even in China. 10,000 people are sick. But when I was in Hong Kong, they were saying that it's way more. They were it's way more than 10,000. It's probably 100,000. And all that, we were reading Hong Kong news, and they said numbers that were 50 times higher than what China was reporting, actually. Not to get into politics, but this was actually happening.
We love some international gossip, but let's focus back in on what happened in Italy.
Italy, for some reason, was the first. We were just unlucky, I guess. Either the first ones to get it or the first one to test people, because there's also that theory. I think we responded too late, but not only the government, we all did. I think we Well, we weren't really informed well about what it was because there was a lot of news about it being just a flu. And you've probably heard the same. The first few weeks it was just a flu. You know, it's fine. It's been exaggerated by the media and everything.
This wasn't the first time we heard this sentiment.
Personally, I need to say it's called mea culpa in Italy. Like, it's like my fault. My fault is like many thought it was like just a flu. Like it's like, oh, it's like a Chinese flu. Don't worry about it. It gets over. Like 4,000 people die every year for due to the flu. Then it was like okay, there are like many cases, but only old people die, so that's what my problem. And of course, I need to be conscious and mindful about my grandparents and say like, I need to worry about my grandparents, like stay away from them, just making sure like they have like the support by the phone, but not like physically.
Yeah.
But it's not something that will affect me.
It sounded like a holiday to everyone. For some reason, for some messed up reason, it sounded like a holiday. Like even to me, and I was in China before, so I saw how bad it was getting there. But I was like, you know, we're home from uni. It was really nice weather, and we were just going skiing, and it felt like it was safe just to do things outside.
The whole thing was, since there were like 2,000 cases, people were like, oh, don't worry about it. We're home we are home from school. We can go ski. I mean, the same thing you're telling me right now. I mean, I can go bike by myself. What can I do? And it's logically it's linear, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're by yourself, you're not gonna get infected, and you're not gonna infect anyone. But many people were doing like this kind of like thinking, and there were like parks full of people like training, running, and going around. Like the ski areas were like packed with people trying to get their tickets. So since the cases were low, people were like kind of chill about it, and it's like, oh, it's like a Chinese thing. It will be over in like 2 weeks.
That's how it started. It was really quick. Like from the first week that sounded like a holiday, then the next week was like complete shutdown, and everyone was like, yeah, it's just gonna be a couple of weeks. So everyone left their clothes in Milan. All my friends have still, like, their laptop is still in Milan, and but we're not allowed to go there, obviously.
Fortunately, it's getting better, but like 3 weeks ago, the situation was scary. I don't know if you saw the images in Bergamo, like the most hit cities.
If you remember Eugenia mentioning Milan, the city where she usually lives and attends uni, that is in Bergamo.
There was like over the night, like people from their window would see like this kind of thing, like this is like a military truck. They were like transporting like dead bodies from the Bergamo cemetery to another province, like nearby where they. And that's a scary thing to see, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can see like you could say many people are infected, but if you see something like this, people are scared about this whole situation. Over this lockdown, the only people you're allowed to see are the people living with you. So in my case, I live with my family. As I told, my parents are like divorced, but lived in the same alley across the street, like 200 meters away. So yeah, I have friends with divorced parents. Then they had to choose. They had to choose where they wanted to stay over this quarantine or the day before the lockdown, because you can't move over cities around like it's nothing. You need to have like certificate paper to say for which purpose you're moving.
Yeah, I'm with my parents and my sister. Yeah. So the first 3 weeks were hell. They were, because I usually live by myself, and I'm a really relaxed person, so I just do my own things and then eat whenever I want, and then just study, do my workouts, go for my runs and everything. And being told when to eat, I was like, I'm hungry at 12. I'm not going to wait until 1:30 to eat with you guys. Like, no offense, obviously, but, or those things, just like people telling you where to put something. And I'm like, to me, it makes sense to put it here. And obviously you have to do it because you have to live together. But the first few weeks were a bit intense, like not hell, obviously. I was exaggerating, but it was difficult to get used to having someone else around that is not my flatmate, and especially to different rules and to someone telling you what to do.
The message it's like for younger people like us to take care of like our grandparents, because like for example my grandparents are all living by themselves, and they cannot go their shop groceries by themselves, so they have people to do for them. The percentage are clear if you're like 75 or older. Here in Italy, the virus is hitting like at a deadly pace. If you're like 65 or older, your chance of dying is like 15%. That's not joking. I mean,
Yeah.
15%. It's like, I mean, one little less than 1/5 of chance of dying. I wouldn't bet anything with my life like with this percentage. And the younger people like us have like just like a 0.02,
Yeah.
0.1. It's 1,000, one of 1,000 possibility of dying if you get infected.
Yeah.
And then you need to multiply that for the percentage to get infected.
But yeah, so it was Italy, and then France was like, yeah, it's just in Italy, we're good. And then obviously you can't be good if you're like right next to us. And then the next week, France was on full lockdown and Spain was fine. They were like, yeah, nothing is happening. And then the US was like, oh, nothing is happening here. And then, you know, it's just been crazy seeing countries just ignoring it and then being hit really bad by this.
For my mentality or personality, I like to see like to get the best things out of every situation. Even though this is like really really bad over here, I could say that just appreciate what we have and live like closer with people we love the most. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I will be 21 this year. I mean, I probably move out like in 2 years, and I mean, once you move out, you never come back, right? So why not just enjoy this family time, like really really close, and knowing that it won't last longer, it won't be for the rest of your life, and enjoy this still fortunate situation, because if you're not sick, I don't think you have anything to worry about, since the whole world is on lockdown basically.
Wow. What a great pair of interviews. I mean, from looking into some discrepancies with the case numbers that China's been reporting, all the way to analyzing how divorced families in particular in Italy have been affected by the ban on travel between cities. I personally have divorced parents, and I've been quarantining between their two houses. They live in the same town still, in my hometown. So that piece of information hit particularly hard. I ran out to tell my mom immediately, and we were just pondering what would have happened if I had to pick between the two of them and decide where I was going to stay for almost a month and a half. And that's it for today. As I mentioned previously, we've done 2 other videos, Germany and Ecuador, so if you want to check those out, I'll link them here, one after the other. Yeah, keep up with the series. We are putting out new videos every week. We have spoken to friends in England, Denmark, Japan, Brazil, and they're all on their way. So until next time.